Hello there, this is my D&D class for Witchcraft. My idea is no mana, only meta magic. It came about from a few sources. Number one, I saw that I was learning about Sobek, an Egyptian god, and it said that the pharaoh's tombs had two kinds of writing on it. One for what to do with the body, and one for what the soul could do after life. And some of the writings had how to threaten and make demands of the gods should the pharaoh's soul be unnerved. Then the other day I was watching RuneSmith, and they said this.
Read yourself. But in the evil half of this world is nega grandmas. They represent all that's evil and all that is grandma in the world. And their nature is purely the corruption of goodness. Kinda like it, but without makeup. Everything about them is unique, mainly because all the knowledge they gather and use is stuff that should always be forgotten and never used. Like that spell that I made.
So that's sort of the inspiration for this, is stuff that shouldn't be used, but humans somehow have learned. Like, the whole thing about Dungeons & Dragons is that humans created like how to be a wizard, because like a dragon can just use fire, it can just breathe it, but a human had to learn how to do this and that in Naruto the Weave to like make something happen. So I have two kinds of witches here, and they work slightly different but also the same. I'm just going to go through all of this, and then I'm going to let you see this glorious mess and you can decide for yourself. So there's true witches that learn true meta magic. And then there are false witches that learn corrupted meta magic. And that causes mental instability, I wrote, apparently. So, for example, devils would have all the mana, and they would have tomes of witchcraft. And they'd strike bargains. They'd say, hey witch, I have a book, it's got all these amazing spells in it, I've got tons of mana. And then also there's the witch. Not sure if you saw the movie, it was super creepy. I'm going to keep it blurry. But there's this one particular line.
Dost thou understand my English tongue?
She's talking to the devil.
What dost thou want?
Yes. Here's the line I love.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Yeah, so you combine a devil who has all of the motive for corruption, and they have all of the mana possible, so they just say, here witch, I'll give you a book and you get endless mana for me. It's kind of the whole warlock thing. But the book would be corrupted, and of course every spell would cause insanity or do something bad or cause loved ones to die or this or that. And so all true good witches, which I'm not sure if you remember, but there's been some good movies about good witches, like The Seventh Son and things like this, where a good witch would always share knowledge, and a true bad witch would never write down a spell that it would know, so false witches get fake tomes with corrupted spells. Now you can gain mana from dead gods. A good can be a gift when a god passes, so like, and they can only access the god's mana stored in, hang on here, in a personal plane. So like when a god dies, if it's a good god, maybe it'll stick all of its mana in a tree and give a witch a wand that like accesses it. Or maybe a bad will be by killing or discovering a lost god. Maybe like, hi, you have no followers, well, I'll give you followers. Like, I'm not sure, remember World of Warcraft, there's someone who's taken on as a queen for a god in order to, like, she becomes the god's queen, then she can lead the god's army. It's kind of this, or you can kill a god and usurp all mana from their personal plane. So that's sort of like, how does a witch have mana to cast any spells? They're either given as a gift, or maybe the god doesn't have to pass, it could just be a blessing. And then, so yeah, good witches influence the weave, and bad witches corrupt the weave. And I have two different versions of what they are. They're either a curse, which is a lingering meta magic, or a blessing, which is lingering meta magic. So I'm not sure if you know what meta magic is, but sometimes you can like cast a spell and use a magic to make it go twice as far or last twice as long or this or that. But that can all be taken to like the 10th 10th degree by like saying that it's a lingering meta magic is a curse or a blessing. So these things could technically be curses, like you could curse a god and steal their mana, or you could get a blessing from a god and be gifted their mana. And now let's see. So good can infuse / borrow mana. Actually, hang on here, I got a few lines, I want to make sure I'm getting it right. Okay, yeah, so apparently a blessing is an infusing of borrowed mana that you're channeling, and curse is sacrifice from mana. So you can sacrifice lifeblood for mana, which is stealing the life. So say you kill an animal, you're stealing life. That's curse, which is corrupting the weave. So you're killing life, you're corrupting the weave instead of influencing the weave by having someone's life be devoted to you. You know, like you can have someone devoted to you and they'll bless you with some of their, you can borrow their mana. Hi, you're my friend, I'll let you borrow your mana. Sorry, I'll let you borrow my mana and you can protect me. That's a good witch. A bad witch would like steal your kid and take them and then turn them into something and like use them for mana. Now for the actual like class thing, I have titles. So there's the first circle and then there's the 10th circle. So first circle can manipulate first level spells, and if you're in the 10th circle, you can manipulate up to 10th level spells. So there are curses, blessings, and meta magic.